President Trump's July 4th salute to America went as planned with a massive fireworks and military display. I'm Mark Liverman with more on the event and why some critics argue it politicized Independence Day.
And a Bozeman hotel is responding to claims that some customers were bitten by bedbugs, saying the facility has passed their inspections. There's a catch. Something isn't adding up. Coming up, Cody Boyer shows what we discovered when we looked at that inspection report. Good morning to you. Welcome to your Friday and your 5th of July. I'm Missy O'Malley. Chet Lehman has our forecast today. Matt Elwell is off. Top story for you now. President Trump said yesterday that he became the first president in nearly 70 years to speak at the National Mall on Independence Day. The Salute to America ceremony honored the country's veterans and military's might, but the critics say it focused too much on the president himself. CBS's News' Mark Liverman reports.
President Trump's vision for a blowout July 4th celebration was realized despite a rainy start.
Today we come together as one nation with this very special salute to America.
The president stuck to the script, calling for unity while honoring military and civil rights leaders.
Americans love our freedom, and no one will ever take it away from us.
Tanks sat by the Lincoln Memorial, and spectators witnessed flyovers from every military branch.
I feel it's important to support the people who take care of us and keep us free.
But the pomp and circumstance was not without controversy. The seating area closest to the president was reserved for VIPs. It included top GOP donors and others who snagged their tickets through the Republican National Committee and Pentagon. Democrats sounded off on the undisclosed cost and worried the display politicized the military.
Dishonors our troops, dishonors our service members and veterans because it's really all about Trump.
Demonstrators protested conditions in border facilities, with one group locking a baby Trump balloon in a cage. Mark Liverman, CBS News.
President Trump avoided political overtones in his speech, which potentially could have cost organizers millions of dollars in fines for using taxpayer money for campaign purposes. The total price tag of the event has yet to be made public, but likely ranges in the millions. We didn't spend that kind of money here at home,
Nope.
Chet, but we certainly had a great time.
Absolutely. The money was all spent in the neighborhood around my house in fireworks displays last night. So thanks to all my neighbors for that, for the guy that had to be at work at 2:30 this morning.
Wonderful.
It was still lovely.
And
it was a delightful night.
I'm sure all the dogs appreciated that as well.
They love that stuff. Yeah, absolutely true. Here's what we're looking at for your Friday out there. You see current conditions ranging in the 40s for the most part. 41 in West Yellowstone, 43 in Ennis, 48 White Sulphur Springs. A really nice way to start your Friday, and Friday's just going to get better and better as we go. Temperatures warming up into the low 70s today. It'll be a really nice time to go outside and have a picnic lunch, maybe dinner on the deck tonight. For Butte, slight chance of an afternoon shower this afternoon, but for the most part, a pleasant evening with temperatures in the low 70s. As far as your weekend, Missy, detailed forecast from the patio coming up in about 10 minutes.
Thank you for that, Chet. Our top local story for you now. On Wednesday, we brought you the story of a Florida family that claimed a stay at a Bozeman hotel included their son being bitten by bed bugs. Now, initially, the manager of the Quality Inn and Suites told us no comment after we reached out to the company, including the corporate offices, Choice Hotels. But on Wednesday night, the local hotel owner agreed to talk about that incident. MTN's Cody Boyer continues our coverage with that part of the story.
A family traveling the U.S. for the summer says this happened to their son after a stay here at the Quality Inn and Suites in Bozeman. According to the family, they stayed there on the night of June 25th, then left the next day. We followed up with the manager, contacting him shortly after 12 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. He eventually returned our call, saying no comment, telling us to contact their corporate office, Choice Hotels. I left a message, which they have not yet returned. Then last night, we received this from the local owner of Quality Inn, a receipt of service from a company called Ecolab, which specializes in water, hygiene, and energy technologies, including bedbug removal. On this document, according to Ecolab, it reads, quote, "No bedbug activity noted during inspection. All clear, nothing," end quote. But note the time and date of service, 12:57 p.m. July 3rd, about a week after the family's stay.
It's something that we definitely have had calls on in the past.
The Gallatin City County Health Department says bed bugs are a common issue, especially this time of year.
There's a lot of additional travel, and there's more travel that's available to a variety of individuals. So there's more people traveling, and bed bugs are really hard to treat with just common pesticides.
And they are not a new issue.
Bed bugs have been around for centuries. They're in every state in the U.S. They're in multiple countries around the world. It's not just hotels, it can be anywhere. It could be a cinema, it could be anywhere where there's people who frequently travel.
The question becomes, did the family traveling from Florida bring the bed bugs with them unknowingly, or did their son in fact get bitten at the Quality Inn? One final note, neither the hotel manager, the local owner, and their local attorney would comment on camera for this story. In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
Switching back to political news, Montana Governor Steve Bullock is running for president, and literally he ran in Iowa yesterday on the 4th of July. The governor ran in the 5K Cedar Rapids road race yesterday and then added some more steps on his Fitbit walking in the parade. Bullock's day of campaigning included celebrations in a couple of their Iowa towns. Governor Bullock has received endorsements from two key Iowa Democratic leaders. Other Democrats in Iowa right now include Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Beto O'Rourke, and Bernie Sanders at various campaign events. And in Stevensville in western Montana, Mayor Brandon Dewey says now that the town's water emergency is ending, staff will improve notifications and reconfiguring one final well, which continues to have problems. MTN's Dennis Bragg takes a look at those coming changes.
The bottle of water on the town council table Wednesday night was a lonely reminder of a problem that has broadsided Stevensville leaders and residents at summer start. For the past 2 weeks, the city has been struggling with emergency water restrictions after the town's system nearly ran dry. But Mayor Dewey had good news.
Effective on Friday, we can lift the restrictions 100%.
The mayor told the council a second pump had been repaired Wednesday following the installation of the first replacement pump Monday.
And that was a successful install. The water test came back from that today and was good to go, and so that pump is fully online and the reservoir is filling, and in fact is full already.
That's a big difference from a week before last when the town suddenly went dry, sparking complaints with some customers saying they didn't know what was going on.
There's a lot of people in this town that are the same way. We need to have a better form of communication.
It's something we take very seriously to disrupt our neighbors and asking them to turn their water off. But we were at a point where we had 1.5 feet to 2 feet of water, and it was quickly dropping because everyone's sprinklers kicked on at midnight and they didn't heed the warnings.
With the pumps costing up to $20,000 apiece, Dewey says repairs are expensive.
These pumps are manufactured in Colorado, then shipped to Spokane, and then we receive them here. It's not something that's just stocked on the shelf at true value.
Now that the pumps are fixed and the water is back, the town will turn its attention to a final well pump, which has been problematic for the past few years, and the town didn't have the money to fix it. Dewey says the town will draw up plans to reconfigure that system and bring the well online.
We don't have that funding issue today, and so we're fully developing that well and making sure that whatever we put into that, whatever as far as a pump goes, we put into that well, it's not something that we're going to replace in 6 months to 9 months.
In Stevensville, Dennis Bragg, MTN News.
Now, Mayor Dewey says that the town is also encouraging residents to sign up for its new robocall system for automated alerts, and if they rent their home, to make sure that the records reflect the actual number where they can be reached. And hundreds of runners woke up in the Bozeman area yesterday and headed towards Cherry Creek for Reach's 12th annual Race for Independence. MTN's Carson Vickroy is an accomplished runner, so he got the assignment.
Here at the East Gallatin recreational area, where runners burned a few calories before their July 4th evenings, running the 1K, 5K, and 10K today. Now, 354 people participated in this race for a good cause.
This is one of Reach's biggest fundraisers to help raise money for adults with developmental disabilities in our community.
Others were there to celebrate their nation's birthday in style for a great cause.
So much fun. Nice and cool with the clouds. It's a beautiful day to be running a race. It's really energetic, lots of people out there, so people cheering you on the whole time.
Some runners were there to get after it. Jordan Black won the 5K in just over 17 minutes.
It felt pretty nice. The trails were a little muddy, so that made it a little slippery and stuff, but other than that, it was pretty nice.
Several spectators were also out there cheering on the runners, including ones with 4 legs that were more interested in the post-race bananas than they were answering my questions. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the help of the volunteers.
We had people show up as early as 4:30 a.m. We have between 60 and 70 people show up to help us get this off the ground. We have a ton of sponsors, and I think, when people get involved, they really care and they bring their friends. It's also a beautiful course. These in-town trails are amazing.
With the success of this event over the last 12 years, race officials say they're expecting to be here for year number 13 on the same date next year. Wishing you a happy 4th of July in Bozeman, I'm Carson Vickroy with MTN News.
And as Carson added, it was a great turnout for the race. Reach Incorporated raised thousands of dollars this year. We do have to take a quick break.